All right, hello guys. Welcome to James Asma Edison. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is James Asma, and today, as I promised in my previous video, that I'm going to do a video to explain with you guys how to go or find your way through the diversity visa program. You're welcome, and today is the day. So before we get into the video, I want to thank my old subscribers or my viewers for the encouragement, for the energy that you are giving to me. For some of you, you go into the inbox, the comment box, to suggest to me areas or topics that I will cover or I will talk about. And I really appreciate that. Thank you for always encouraging me and giving me the advice. I really appreciate. And if you are new here, if today is your first time of stopping by to my channel, please do me a favor, subscribe to my YouTube channel, click the notification bell to always get updated anytime I upload a new video. And don't forget to share, go to the comment box to comment on my video, and you can as well give me a guess of what or areas that you think I should cover. I will really appreciate. Please, I would like to journey with you. So please, let's stay connected and let's see what God has for us. All right, so as you can see, this is DS form number 5501, and is the electronic diversity visa entry form. So this is the form, electronic diversity visa entry form. So I want to also indicate that this is the simplest form I can say. Anyone at all can fill this form. So I still want to encourage or use this platform to always encourage you that fill the form yourself. Don't go to any cafe, any cyber, or any person to ask him to fill the form for you. Always do your possible best to fill the form for you to avoid petty mistakes, right? To avoid petty mistakes is as simple as ABC, and even though it's very simple, but it's still technical in some way. So please, let's listen very carefully and then take note of certain things. All right, so the part one has to do with the entrant information. The entrant information, you are the entrant. So you, as an applicant, your information, you put your information in the part one. All right. So as you can see, we have last name or family name. It begins with your last name or your family name. So it's same as your surname, right? It's same as your surname. So if your surname is Ali, you put Ali. Then if your middle name is Salifu, you put Salifu, right? So if you have a middle name, if your first name is Salifu, you put Salifu. If you don't have a first name, you click that you don't have, right? You click you don't have. If you have a middle name, you type your middle name here, right? If you have your middle name, you can put your middle name. But if you don't have a middle name like myself, you click on the box, and then you see that the box will be made inactive, right? Okay. So then you come to gender. Gender, we have female. If you're a male, you click male. If you are a female too, you come and then click female. It's very simple. Okay, it's very simple. All right, so you come to date of birth. So date of birth in America, unlike other countries like Ghana, we begin with the day before, the month, and then the year. But in America or US, they begin with month, day, and then year. So you should be very careful with this one, right? You should be very, very careful. Make sure that anything on this form, make sure that you read before you put in information, right? Because I've seen a lot of time, many times that people put month in place of day and then day in place of what? Month. So you should be very careful. Make sure that any form that you are filling, you read before you put your information. So, for example, my date of birth is 10th April, so I'll put 04 because April is 4, then 10th. Then I'll now put my year of birth. So always remember when you get to this place, please remember and don't place the date, put the date in place of month and month in place of what? Day. Always remember. All right, so you come to city where you were born, city where you were born. Enter birth city only. Do not enter district, county, province, or state. So city where you were born, you put your city where you were born. If you don't know, make sure that you do what? Make sure that you click here, city, birth city not known. That is if you don't know. But I'm sure by the time that you, especially for Ghanaians, by the time that you are qualified to apply or to apply for the diversity visa program, you might have known where your city of birth is because it will appear in your birth certificate. And you know, if you don't have the birth certificate, it means that you can't have what? The passport, right? So it means that your city of birth would have known before applying or entering this form. All right, so where you were born, the city where you were born, you put the city where you were born. All right. So then we come to country where you were born. Then over here, you don't have to type. You just have to do what? You just have to click. You can decide to type, though. You can decide to type Ghana is there, so you enter. So I was born in Ghana. And then there's a question here. Your country of eligibility will normally be the same as your country of birth. That's it. Your country of eligibility is not related to where you live. So it means that you can be a citizen of Ghana, or let's say your country of birth can be Ghana, but you are living in Dubai. So it means that Dubai is not your country of eligibility. Your country of eligibility is always where your country of birth. All right. So if you were born in a country that is not eligible for the DV program, please go to explanation of country of eligibility to see yourself. So over here, they always give you references to get more information, right? To get more information, because over here, it's not here that you come to read about when do we say your country of eligibility is this place or that place. So they'll give you reference to go and then read. Okay, so the question is, are you claiming eligibility based on the country where you were born, right? And remember, they've already indicated here that your country of eligibility is the same as what? Country of birth. So it means that you must put yes. It means that you must put yes here because they've stated there, top there. All right, then we come here. If not, you must enter the country from which you are claiming eligibility. So if not, then, so already you are choosing yes. So it means that this place is not applicable to you. All right. So we come to passport. So the passport was, it was in previous years, passport was not a requirement until 2019, where they introduced for those that applied for the DV 2020. Those were the applicants that began with what? With the passport, the traveling passport requirement. So until then, you don't need a traveling passport to apply. But starting from 2019, every applicant is required to have a valid and what? Unexpired traveling passport. Okay, let's read this one. In order to submit an entrance for the diversity visa program, you must currently possess a valid unexpired passport from your country of nationality, unless exempt or unless exempt. So see below. So they are giving reference again to go and then read what do they mean by exempt, unless if you don't have the passport, unless you have been exempted. So you read below, or they've given a reference for you to go and then learn to understand proper before you continue with the form. All right, so so passport information, you write your passport here. You write your passport. The name, over here, you have to write the name as it has appeared on your passport. So you're going to write the name here as your last name or family name. And I told you it's the same as your surname, right? Then you come and then write your first name here, or your given name, your first name and then your given name. You write it over here. If you don't have, you click no first name. If you have, you put it in. Then you come to middle name. If you have a middle name, you type it in the box. If you don't have, you click here, no middle name. All right, then you come to passport number. So the passport number, you write your passport number. Then you come to what? Passport expiration date. Then you write the month first, the day, and then the year, right? I hope you have gotten up to this point. Then you come to country or authority of issuance, the country where you have been issued the passport. Then you click and select, right? You click and then select. All right, so then we come to passport. So as of now, this form is for those that have passport. Now, how do you mean, or what do you mean by exempt, unless you have been exempted? Okay, so now the B explains what it means by being exempted. Then is it passport exemption? So you are going to click here. All right. Okay, I think I did something. That's why the passport side was inactive, because I clicked. I'd already gone through the form, so I clicked this place. So because of that, over here was not active. All right. So as you can see on the form, you click and then you provide your last name or your surname. Then you come and then click here and then you type in your first name or given name. If you have a middle name, then you put your middle name, right? If you don't have, you click no middle name. If you don't have first name or given name, you click no first name or no given name. Then you come and then click here to provide your passport details or your passport number. Then you come here, you type the month, the passport expiration date. So you write the month, you type the day, then you type the year. Then you also come here, then you type the country of issuance. You type country of issuance. All right, so when you come to passport exemption, now you are going to click in this box, square box, indicating that you are not required to submit passport information because one. So before you are qualified to fill this form or to click this box, it means that you don't have a passport. And if you don't have a passport, which you must have, you should be able to give reasons why you don't have. And these are the reasons. One, either you are stateless or you don't have, you don't belong to any nationality, right? Either you are stateless, you don't have a country that you can call your country, or you belong to what? Economist control country. And the whole world, the only countries that are economic control countries are China, Cuba, Laos, and then Vietnam. Those are the only 4 countries that are what? Economist countries. So if you are not a citizen of this country or a nationality of this country, it means that you are not qualified to select this place. Or another reason is that you are not able to obtain a passport and have received an individual waiver of the passport requirement by the Secretary of Homeland Security or Secretary of State. So it means that you might have gained right. So the waiver here, in a layman understanding, we can put a right not to possess a passport from what? From Secretary of Homeland, Secretary of Homeland Security or the Secretary of State. So that document is from the US. It means that you have received that right from the US Secretary of Homeland Security or the Secretary of State, right? Which is very difficult for one to have those documents. So one, if you don't have a passport and you want to apply for the diversity visa program, it means that you should be a stateless person, meaning you don't have nationality, or a national of a communist controlled country and unable to obtain a passport from any government, right? 2 or 3, unable to obtain a passport and have received an individual waiver of the passport requirement by the Secretary of Homeland Security or the Secretary of State. You understand? So if you click here, you have to click one of these things to proceed. And remember, let's read down here. He said that I understand that if it is later determined, if it is later determined that I'm not exempted from the passport requirement, I may be what? Be disqualified. Let me highlight it so that you look at it carefully. So if you put all these things and then maybe you have been selected and you are not able to prove that you belong to any of the 3, it means that your green card or your entry will be disqualified. So there are people, they will go through this process, they are being selected. Meanwhile, they don't belong to any of these reasons why they are being exempted of having a passport, right? Okay, so it means that my advice for you is that if you don't have a passport, please, we still have time. Just try your possible best to do what? To get the passport. If you don't have the passport, make sure that you try your possible best to do what? To get a passport. And if you're not able to get the passport before October, which is the month of application, forget it and then apply next year, or prepare and then apply next year, right? So that you will not block people's chance. All right, that's my advice. All right, then we come to the entrant photograph. The entrance photograph, another important aspect of the diversity visa program. And I made a video explaining the only way to increase your chance of being selected is the passport photograph, the entrance photograph. That's the only way to increase your chance of winning. Majority of applicants, are not being selected because of the passport picture or the passport photo that they use. All right, so let's read the information here. It said photographs must be submitted at the time of electronic diversity visa entry. Photographs that do not comply with all specifications, including but not limited to recency of the photos, composition of the photos, and then unacceptable backgrounds are grounds for disqualification of the entire entry. Any manipulation of photographs that alters the facial characteristics is grounds for disqualification of the entire entry, right? And they have given you what? A reference to go and then read. So I made in my video, and I don't want to repeat all that I've said here. I'll only ask you to go and then look for it, to watch. But I've also done another video speaking more details about the passport photo requirement, right? I've not uploaded it yet, but after here, I'll upload that one and then this video that I'm doing. All right, so please refer to the instruction for the DV20 for the 2020 Diversity Immigrant Visa Program for technical specification and then compositional specification for the digital image. You will use one of the following methods to enter the image into electronic diversity visa. All right, so one, before you apply or you start this form, you make sure that you've gotten the soft copy of the passport photo that you want to use for the application, so that it will be in your device. If it's your phone that you are using, make sure that it will be on your phone. You can decide, you can name it DV 2023. You can name it DV 2023, so that when you come to this place, you can click here, choose photo. So when you choose this, when you click here, it will send you to what? It will send you to your files, so that you select the photo and then you proceed with the application. All right, so come to 9, talking about the mailing address. So the mailing address, this place is also another important aspect that one must consider, because it comes with your first notification letter if you are being selected. So this will be your address that they will address you when you are being selected. So now, if it belongs to someone, if this address belongs to someone or an institution, maybe someone, okay, so you write the name of the person here, right? You write the name of the person here, then you come and then write the address. So if you're using 2 address, this is the second address, but that one is optional. So over here is a requirement. Over here is a requirement. Even the care of is not a requirement. It's optional. You can put, that's if it belongs, the address that you're going to put here, it belongs to someone. But if it does not belong to anyone, you can decide not to put anything there, then come and then write your address. Then, if you have a second address that you want it to, you want to consider or you want to put, you can write the second address here. That one too is optional. All right. Then you come to city. So the city talks about the address, the city where that address is. So you write the city, Then you come to the district, and then you write the district. Then you come to the zip code. Zip code over here in Ghana, we don't have a zip code. So you can decide to, click here, no postal code or zip code, right? You can put it there. Then you also indicate the country where the address is, right? Then you select here, and then you choose the country where the address is. And let me also mention this, very important. Now, this address, if you're living in the, let's say, if your eligibility is Ghana, or let's say your eligibility is in Tanzania or Kenya, then you are living in a different country, you can still put an address of your country. Over here, you can still put an address of your country, right? You can also decide to put an address of what? The country where you live. Okay, you can still put that one. You can still put the country where you live. That is, if you are not living in your country of eligibility, you live outside your country, and then you are applying. You can put any of the address, either the country where you are living or the country where your country of eligibility. All right. So let's also come here, country where you live. Country where you live. So now, country where you live, it's not necessary that you put the country where your country of eligibility. So like I earlier make an illustration that if your country of eligibility is in Kenya, and then you are living in Dubai, it means that you have to put Dubai, not Kenya, because that's not where you are living. So country where you live today. So as at the time, even if you are going tomorrow, if you live outside your country of eligibility and you plan of going back to your country tomorrow, right? Still indicate that you are living where you are currently living while you were applying for the diversity visa program. The reason is that, remember, when you submit this form, the date of submission will appear in their system, right? And so if you indicate that if you are living outside your country, and then you indicate that maybe, okay, because I'll be going, I will put the country where I come from, because I'll be leaving tomorrow. When you are traveling, or when you win and then they are asking, you are filling the DS-260, remember, they will ask you whether you have traveled before or not, and you must put when you have traveled, the time that you traveled and then the time that you came back to your country. It will be indicated. So if there is what inconsistency in your date, you have an issue. So always put the truth. Always put the truth. All right. So we come here, optional. Your phone number is optional. You can decide to put your phone number. You can decide not also to put your phone number. It's optional. All right. Then you come to email address. The email address is also another very important information that you must put an active email address. An active email address, because it will take you through all your process. When you are being selected, it will come to a time that they will be communicating to you through your email. So this email, any email that you're going to put on this section, make sure that it's active, and make sure that it's very what? It's very reliable. So you put your email address here, then you come here to confirm. You confirm your email address. Okay, so let's read. It said, note, this email address will be used to provide you with additional information if you are selected. I think I mentioned that. Now, another important place that people usually make mistakes. This is a very important place that people usually make mistakes. Please, let's pay attention to this. And let's read this question. What is the highest education, highest level of education you have achieved as of today? So now, the what? One thing you have to take note is what? As of today. So as of the day that you are applying or filling this form, as of the day that you are filling this form, your highest level of education as of the day you are filling this form. Okay, put that in your mind and let's go through. Let's come to primary. Primary school only. If you have attended primary school only, you click primary school. If you have attended high school, no degree. So the high school no degree means you have obtained admission to a high school, but for some reasons, you have not what? You have not completed. Either still attending or you have dropped out. So if you are still attending your high school and haven't completed, you belong to this category. High school, no degree. It means that you have attended, but you don't have the certificate in your hand. The no degree means that you don't have the certificate, the high school certificate. If you have also attended, gained admission to a high school, but you have attended and one reason or the other, you have been dropped out of school. This place still belongs to you. You can click here and then you are good to go. Now, let's go to high school degree. So high school degree are those who have attended and have completed and have received their what? Their certificate. So you have attended high school and then you have completed high school and you have your what? Your degree certificate, your certificate, your SHS certificate or your high school certificate. This category is where you belong. Now, vocational school. Everyone knows what the vocational school is. If you have attended vocational school and you have completed, this place is for you. Now, some university course. The some university course, again, explains an applicant who has attended university, still attending university. You have not completed your course. You have gained admission. You are studying a course in the university and you have not completed. It means that you belong to this category. Please take note. I know why I'm emphasizing all these things. Majority of people do put anything, and then when they are being selected, they find themselves wanting. Please, I said that as of today, and the as of today means that even if you are completing in 3 months' time, you are still attending, but you know that by the time the results will be out, you might have completed. Please still put high school, no degree. High school, no degree. Because you have not completed. They said, as of today, as at the time that you are applying for the diversity visa program. And remember, when you are being said, this cannot deny your selection. It has no influence in your selection because we also have people, they are provided room for people who have never attended school, but they have what? They have work experience, a skillful work experience. So those people will also be considered. So whether you have completed primary, high school, university, you have a degree or you don't have a degree, you have a high school certificate or you don't have a high school certificate, it doesn't deny your selection. Take note of that. All right. Then we come to, so I said there's some university courses are those that have been admitted to universities and they have not completed. Don't say in about 3 months you will complete and so you come and then put university degree. No, don't. As of today, as at the time that you are applying this program. So when you have not completed, don't submit that you have completed and you have you are a degree holder. Then when you come to university degree, it means that you have obtained admission to the university and then you have completed and you have your certificate, your degree certificate. This place belongs to you. Now, some graduate level courses, it means that you are doing your second degree and you have not completed yet. Some graduate level courses, you are doing, you've obtained your degree, your first degree, and then you are doing further studies, second degree, and you have not completed. It means you belong to this category. Now you come to master degree. It means that you have done your second degree, and then you have completed. You have the certificate with you. Okay, then some doctorate level courses. You are doing your PhD, and you have not completed. You belong to that category. Then you come to doctorate degree. It means that you are a PhD holder. All right, so let's read the information again. I don't joke with the written information because that tells you a gist of what they want you to do. You must have a minimum of high school diploma reflecting the completion. So you must have a high school diploma reflecting the completion of a full course of study. And remember, vocation schools or equivalency degrees are not what acceptable. So you must have a minimum of high school diploma reflecting the completion of a full course of study, or be a skilled worker in an occupation that requires at least 2 years of training or experience to qualify. This. So it means that it's either you have a high school. If you have a high school, when you are being selected, you don't have any problem. If you have a high school diploma, that's a high. If you have completed a high school, and then you are being selected, you are done. You are good to go. But if you don't have a high school, you must be a skilled worker in an occupation that requires at least 2 years of training or experience to qualify for this aspect of the diversity visa program. Okay, all right. Okay, so the next one, what is your current marital status? Your current marital status. Please and please and please again. Don't assume. Don't assume, because it has no influence. See, just know that any information that you're going to put here, once they've requested and then you are providing the information, it has no influence in your selection, in your visa selection. It has no influence. It doesn't mean that when you are married, you have higher chance of being selected or than those that are single. It does not also mean that when you are single, you have high chance of being selected than someone who is married. No, 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 no. Right? They just want to, have the data, your data. They want to develop a database for you. They want to know you. That's all. They want to have your information, and that is all. So if you are married, if you're not married, just click here on married. Now, married and my spouse is not a citizen, or is not a US citizen or US lawful permanent resident. So it means that you have married, but your spouse, your husband or your wife is not a US citizen or a lawful permanent resident. You click here. Or if you are married and your spouse is a US citizen or is a lawful permanent resident, that's the green card. So you have married, your husband or your wife is a US citizen, or your husband or your wife is a lawful permanent resident. Click here. If you have married but divorced, then you click here. If you're a widow, then you click here. Remember, when you click divorce, when you are being selected, you'll be given, you will have to prove that you have married before, but you have divorced. So you must have a court document proving that you have divorced. If you're a widow, you must have a court document or a document from the birth and death registrar office proving that your husband or your wife died and you are a widow, a widower. Right? So you put there. If you are legally separated, then you click here. Legally separated is different from divorce, right? And then they explain here, listen, legal separation is an arrangement when a couple remain married but live apart following court order. If you and your spouse are legally separated, your spouse will not be able to immigrate with you through the diversity visa program. You will not be penalized if you choose to enter the name of a spouse from whom you are legally separated, right? So you are separated, you live in separate place following a court order, right? If you are not legally separated by a court order, you must include your spouse even if you plan to be divorced before you apply for the diversity visa. Failure to list your eligible spouse is grounds for disqualification. If your spouse is a US citizen or lawful permanent resident, do not list him or her in your entry. This is simple. It's very, very simple. Okay, but remember, if you click here, married, another form will open for you to put your spouse information, All right. So you come and then click here, enter spouse information. That is if you are married. So you click here, enter spouse information, and then it will open. So if you are not married, you click on not married. Okay, you click on not married, then there are some people, they are not married, but they have children. So you click here and then you put your children. Now, let's read the information here again before we end the video. Children include all biological children, legally adopted children, and stepchildren who are unmarried and under the age of 21 on the date you submit your entry. You must include all eligible children, even if they do not live with you, or if they do not intend to apply for a diversity visa as your derivative. Failure to list all eligible children is grounds for disqualification. If your child is a US citizen or lawful permanent resident, do not list him or her in your entry. This is simple. So what it means is that now you have a child, the child doesn't live with you, but he is your what? Your stepchild or your biological child or you have adopted that child and you have what you have adopted and you have the documents of adoption, you are required to enter his information in this form. But the child must be what? Unmarried, and must be what? Less than what? Under the age of 21. So even if he is under the age of 21 but married, you cannot include that child. All right, so I want to believe that you have learned a new thing in this video. And please, to those of you who have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel so that I can have that energy to do more videos and educate you on things that you need to do to be able to increase your chance of winning and to avoid petty mistakes in the visa application process. Please, thank you viewers, and thank you for watching this video to the end. I really appreciate, and thank you, and until we meet again, bye-bye.